Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to the ninth session of Keepers, Daggers of Darkhold. When we last left off, our party has been invited to a soiree by the patrician of Xyla for Founders Day, the week-long celebration for the founding of the city of Xyla. During the party's mission to observe and potentially gain some clientele from members of high society attending the party, and also keeping tabs on key individuals and not to engage because of the high risk scenarios. They were tasked to keep tabs on the local crime syndicate leader of the city, Silas Blackthorn, who is currently attending the soiree, as well as to put the guild in the good graces of the city to further their legitimate business. With some fine clothing made by Maramil and a bit of awkwardness.
No, like fucking Zackary and Izumi just like struggling in their outfits, like like when you try to like put like anything on a dog and it just starts like wiggling around.
Yeah.
The party has found themselves at the courtyard of the patrician's palace with a carriage provided by their acquaintance V, who the guild called in a favor. So, as your carriage circles around the courtyard in the wee hours of the evening, it's a bit chilly. It's a bit chilly evening, bit colder than this morning after it had rained. Maramil has unfortunately caught a bit of a head cold. So yes. As you all arrive in your carriage, which has been lit up by the dancing lights provided by Malum to give a more fantastical flair, 4 other carriages circled around as others were funneling out. Lines of individuals gathered to the gates. Sentries lining most of the streets, directing traffic and ushering guests inside for the lovely music, inviting all within the palace.
Now, remember, everyone, keep your smiles about you, and that will carry you for miles. That's a metaphor, by the way. Just, if you forget or can't think of something to do, just smile and wave. Nobles like that.
Zackary smiles, but it's like that really sort of like crooked fucking smile.
Plastic smile, yeah.
Like the
Izumi?
one. Go ahead.
No, sorry, you.
Like the one that is like, like the anime smile where they don't show the teeth. It's just like the the slit of the mouth like turning upwards. What's it called? Like this.
Kind of like, stares for a bit. I believe that's good enough, yes.
Izumi looks around and waves to Zaphos.
Yes. As you
Would you
guys
fucking
go,
recognize us in, like, our amazing outfits?
I mean, aside from Malum, who is wearing a masquerade mask, which is the Domino Discord, he would recognize. Well, he doesn't really see you guys yet from his position, but because he's currently taking tickets and such. So unless you guys like make yourselves known, he doesn't notice you guys yet. Let's see.
Actually, speaking of noble etiquette, I believe that considering we have 2 nobles and 2 uninitiated on this operation, and we have quite a array of targets, I would like to suggest something. Malum Umbra, would you be alright with handling Zackary while I take Izumi? While I take Miss Izumi with me. I believe a buddy system should be in place.
You know, I was planning to make a gamble table. Rich people love getting robbed in daylight while laughing while doing it. So, I could take Zackary there.
Well, might be a learning experience. You two haven't exactly gotten to see each other's best talents at work in the operations that we've been on, so perhaps it could be a learning experience for you both.
Is being revived from death not one of Mr. Malum's best talents at work?
You'd be surprised. That's actually one of the least interesting things he's done.
It's one of the least interesting things I wanna do.
I will... Give me a second. And he kind of turns around. Doesn't look at something in particular. He just kind of like seems to have like that face of the lady like seeing all the calculations in the menu. And then turns back and says, "Yes." That's it.
Yeah.
And, Miss Izumi, you seem quite uncomfortable in that dress.
I indeed am.
Well, first rule of being a noble, you never show that you're uncomfortable in that dress.
I think you're supposed to take like small breaths or something like that.
Yes.
Fritz says while he's driving the cart.
Yes, precisely. I believe that might be a bit, well, yes, practice the breathing exercises that you use for marksmanship. You do those, don't you? Or is that just a, thing in sports archery?
Shadow breaths are inefficient.
Well, we are trying to be inefficient. Nobles will take their time doing absolutely anything. So,
Do all nobles find these clothes uncomfortable?
Oh yes, they do. They very much do.
I mean,
if you find someone that feels comfortable in those clothes, they are likely not a humanoid, and you must be careful.
Like me!
I mean, here's the thing. Rocco kind of opens up that little visor between the carriage and the driver's seat. I mean, here's the thing. You can hide a number of things in a corset. Thieves' tools, blow darts,
Yes.
slim daggers.
That is quite true. The the art of wearing a noble's outfit is learning the versatility of it within its stifling constraints. After all, isn't that where all good ideas come from? Constraints and adversity?
My ideas come from a realm beyond your comprehension.
Yeah.
Izumi just shrugs at your comment after like a few seconds.
Well, we're coming up on the roundabout. So, best smiles, and yeah, we'll pick. We'll be here if things get hairy.
May I assist our entrance with a fine tune?
I mean, there's already music playing.
Yes, but
Well,
one's better.
And I do so agree with you, Zackary. Please give us the best tune you have.
Yes, let's do this.
He'll begin to play. Obviously, Zackary has like a degree of tact here. Question mark.
Yeah.
So he doesn't play something that clashes too hard against the music that they're already playing from the inside, presumably. But it is like a little tune that is ever just so slightly like a little bit different enough that it could stand out, I guess. With the I'm gonna roll a performance just because. But with that same performance, I'm going to activate one of my Eldritch melodies.
May I
Yeah.
give advantage on this? I wanted to place the lights in such a way as if Zackary is in the spotlight. Still dancing around him.
I say so. Yeah.
Okay. In that case,
24.
24, and I'm
Yeah.
during that little ditty that Zackary plays as we arrive. You will all once again see a familiar sight before your very eyes, but only for a couple of seconds. You might still not be used to it too much, but you will certainly feel the effects as familiar. I will give all of my allies within 30 feet of myself temporary hit points through my Eldritch Melody of the Transcendence of Flesh. As you see extra tentacle-like extremities appear from you for a second, the world twists around you. You hear the screams of the damned emanating from your very flesh, but then it's also all an hallucination, or was it? It was, it seemed for a second like you saw all of that, and yet, you're still fine. Oh, I forgot to refresh my bardic inspirations from my stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, never mind.
So how many temporary hit points do we get again?
It is half my bard level plus charisma modifier.
So 6.
No, 7.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
7.
Bless.
Thank you.
You doing all right back there?
I seem to have contracted what seems to be the passing flu. It's fine. None will contract anything from me. I am a cleric, after all.
I mean, all right. And Fitz kind of slows the carriage down as Rocco opens up the door for you all. And you see they're all dressed like real nice.
I imagine like Izumi is like wanting to like get this over with, and like moves to step off the carriage first, but like Maramil will actually like put like a hand out regardless and just like say, "Now, Miss Izumi, do as I do." As Maramil will like extend a hand for Rocco to like basically you know when like the chauffeur
Yeah.
gets out, like takes the hand and like helps them off the carriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Maramil will do that with Rocco. Step over here. Sumire will do the same. Very like you see them like very daintily like take the hand where it's like it's really like Rocco's holding their fingers and they're not holding back. As they just kind of like daintily, one foot out and another foot out, almost like a gallop off of the carriage, as both of them like kind of simultaneously like dust their dresses off and stand waiting. Now your turn, Izumi. You get off before the men do.
Izumi grabs onto the hand and basically just like jumps, using
Okay.
the body as like a balance.
I want you to make a contested athletics check, Ted.
Mhm.
An 18. So basically, Rocco kind of like he was waiting, like, to get you out. But as soon as you try and jump, he's like, "Oh no!" Kind of brings you back down.
Yeah, guy. That's like Marmo actually like how tall is Rocco actually?
Rocco is he's about 6 foot.
Okay, so Maramil will, because Maramil's relatively like a lot shorter actually, will kind of like on their tiptoes like go up to their ear and say, My, Sir Rocco, you very much have the hands of a gentleman. Are you used to this sort of thing?
You tend to be a bodyguard for enough nobles. You get used to it.
Well, it seems we are in very good hands.
Indeed.
Are you quite all right there, Miss Izumi? You seem to have a difficult time landing. Didn't Tabaxi always land on their feet? Or was that a wives' tale?
Not in this dress.
And Marvel will like just kind of like chuckle, and then Sumire will kind of like say, Miss Izumi, you should stand next to me, and then we can make space for the boys."
Right.
Who are indeed back in town. Zackary says he begins to step off the thing, but because he saw Izumi try to do some fancy shit, he's gonna do some fancy shit too. He doesn't understand that you're not supposed to do that though.
Yeah, he doesn't understand that that's a woman thing.
What's it called? He's gonna do a fancy thing here. He's gonna do like the Willy Wonka thing where he pretends to fall over like at the very start, but then he like does a flip and he stands back up. Like he stops at the last step of the carriage and he like stands stock still for a couple of seconds. Then he kind of tumbles forward, but nah, he's gonna try to do the flip forward. No, acrobatics.
Give me either an acrobatics or a performance check.
Thank you for allowing performance. Cause guess what? I'm way better than acrobatics.
23. Even though they're not on the screen, you see like some people up in the window
golf clapping.
Kind of golf clapping.
He he kind of like stands up from the little front flip, I guess, from this, and then looks over and says, I am not aware that walking out of a carriage and doing a different movement each time was a thing that is often used nowadays.
Oh, well,
We seem to be really good at this noble thing.
He looks over and says, Did you forget who I worked for?
No.
He just stares for a couple of seconds.
And now Zackary, Izumi, Sumirai stare triangle.
Zackary just walks around you.
Malum gets off like a fucking normal person.
Yeah, Malum just gets off normally, and he's looking like, oh boy, I don't like this myself, and I have to train one other as well.
Maramil just basically gives you like a smug smile that basically just is like, good luck.
Izumi just looks at Malum, just like get off normally, and just waits for something to happen, and then just like continues staring at him as he just like walks around her, just like waiting for him to do a flip or something.
Oh lord.
Malum will move the lights on top of them to keep dancing around them.
Yeah.
So yeah, for purposes of this, I would just give you an aura.
Yeah. And Maramil will say, well, as the youngest lady, Miss Samire, you may lead us through the gates. Maramil will kind of take Samire's hand and gesture for Izumi to take her other hand. Be polite.
Mm-hmm. Izumi does so.
And as we start walking, before we start walking, Maramil will kind of say to Zackary, "Oh, by the way, dear Zackary, you don't actually need to hold Malum's hand if you don't want to. You can if you wish."
He just kind of turns around and he says, "I'm afraid my hands must never touch the hands of another, for they are only intended to touch the finest of instruments." And guns.
Oh, and oh, did you hear that, Umbra? Dear Zackary doesn't think your fingers play quite well.
No?
I didn't say that.
Whoever has a passive of friggin' 15 or higher, you'd hear Rocco kind of snicker to himself.
Thank you, sir. I knew someone would get my joke.
Alrighty.
Really, Rocco? That makes you laugh?
feel like Zackary, Samira, Izumi are just staring like,
Yeah, it's
what?
Zackary just doesn't seem to get it at all.
Okay, so as you guys are getting ready, coming out from carriage number 1, a bespoke carriage trimmed in gold filigree rolls up near the edge of the stairs. Out, coming from the carriage, three finely dressed individuals who seemed to have very elaborate calico silks draped amongst them, and coming out from the back of the carriage, a man with auburn hair, crimson eyes, a pair of gold spectacles, and a wine red suit steps out of the carriage. Behind them, let's see. I shall take them off the GM layer.
Reveal them to us, Bard.
Reveal.
Where are they? Oh, there they are. Ooh. Oh. Holy shit.
My camera went crazy for a moment there.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's like a... Fuck it, I'm gonna say, he looks like a strawberry pimp.
Basically.
He looks, and this is gonna sound like very oddly specific, but he looks like that anime character that claims to be a rival to the main character, but only sticks around for like 2 episodes before they get beat up, and then never appear in the story ever again.
Dig.
Good fucking art though, boy. Good job.
Thank you. Well, ladies, gentlemen, it's this this little ball has finally had the life of the party. The Zagarm Armand at your service.
Is that our target?
No, that is not your target.
Is it as like, you know,
Yeah.
to like the group?
Well.
Does anyone recognize him?
Yeah. That's...
Out of character.
Make me a history check, actually.
Alright, let's do this.
Let's go. Oh!
21.
Ooh. 22?
22, 18,
I picked you.
7. Zackary, you have no idea who the frig this dude is.
Literally who?
Izumi, Maramil, and Malum. Malum and Maramil, you remember this specific detail. You remember when you guys picked up your good old ball cultist, he found a shipping manifest that was in Karthos's possession, and it belonged to a one Vizago Armand.
Oh, that's interesting, actually. Yeah. Maramil will kind of say, like, not our target, but definitely a person of interest. This man, well, not exactly atypical of nobles to be involved in some sort of, crime or shipping scheme, but, he did seem to be, at the very least, involved with the, operation that, we, happened to find on our first meeting out. He is most likely unimportant, but he might be interesting to talk to.
Alrighty. In carriage number 2, a somewhat well decorated carriage in ebony wood with silver filigree, pulled by a team of war horses in what appears to be adamantine armor for barding, and at the head of the horse team, a nightmare with crimson flames.
What the fuck are these people?
From the carriage, you would see a woman with somewhat patchwork skin, almost as if this was surgical, but in a very fine dress. And next to her, a woman with what also appears to be adamantine armor, blonde hair, a black cloak, and a scar across her cheek. I shall reveal these characters.
Oh. Huh.
Actually,
do I at all recognize like the tattoo on the blonde lady's face, or is that just a scar?
it is a scar,
Okay,
a very
okay, yeah.
gnarly scar, and actually, because of where you're from,
Yeah,
give
you
me
did say
a
Ebonwood.
give me a history check with advantage.
All right. Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Nice.
You would know this as a noblewoman from a very important house in Ebonspire. Beatrix Thrain, Grand Marshal of the Rand Army.
Oh shit. Could I also say like Sumire probably recognizes them? Because she's she goes to school there. Yeah, like I feel like what Izumi feels is like Sumire's hand tighten however it can around Izumi's hand. And you kind of like if you look over you will see like kind of like sparkles in her eyes. And Maramil will kind of like chuckle and just kind of oh, very interesting. I was not at all expecting the Thrain family to make an appearance here. Well, that certainly changes things.
Wanna fill us in?
Well, to answer your question, Miss Izumi, most likely nothing. Though I will have to be a bit more careful about disclosing the family information of myself and little Sumire. But that shouldn't be an issue. In terms of filling you all in, Malum Umbra, what can I say about this person? They're certainly a big deal. And what's it called? Like, what details would I know about this person?
With a nat 20,
what's their role?
Like, for their role, essentially, they are a military advisor in Ironhold Bastion.
Yeah.
You would know they family back in the day were the advisors of the old Emperor of Rostan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, how far removed is she from the Rostonian Empire? Like, what race is she? Is she just human?
She is a half elf, actually.
Oh, okay. So Maramil will say, it's a bit before, I think, a lot of our times, but her family comes from very loyal military advisors to the old guard of the Rostonian Empire. She's, I'm not entirely sure what her character is like, but her family are very dutiful, very loyal, even after the Empire's fall. I would like to make an alliance with her, though I don't think I have much to offer her. It's a shame Miss Karina isn't with us right now. She'd get even more of a kick out of this than little Sumire would.
I mean...
But, kind of like, looking down at Sumire, I assume you do want to meet with her, don't you? If that's okay. We'll see if there's time.
I mean, if an alliance is what you have in mind, we can always drop my name.
We could.
I don't like using it, but for my friends, I don't mind.
We'll only use it if it comes to it. After all, a friend of it goes the same way. A friend of mine is one that I wish not to make uncomfortable. However, we'll see.
All right.
We'll say the good people of Rand are a lot more open to alliances with people of your family's ilk.
I can't believe you immediately jumped at the chance to use the name card, Mr. Malum.
Well, like I said, it doesn't make me really happy, but seeing that last few days I needed to do it for you, and now we're at a ball full of nobles again, it just makes it easier talking to these people.
Well, yes, but unless all of these nobles also happen to be vampires, I think it's far more easier to deal with the average humanoid than it is with a vampire.
Okay. So, in carriage number 3, a simple barrel top carriage falls behind, pulled by 2 draft horses, with not much finery to it, aside from some bespoke engravings on the side. Stepping out from the carriage, an older gentleman in fine black and purple clothes, with a black cape draped around his right shoulder, with white and silver hair,
Oh god,
and
okay.
a more astute look about him, and on his arm a woman with tan skin, raven hair, and what appears to be a very formal dark midnight dress and a dark blue vest, as I shall reveal them on the map. Well, Miss Beverand, shall we away? Let's, Mr. Calidus.
This fucker.
Why does he look like he's wearing like 20 fucking wigs? Like 20 wigs at the same time.
I mean, hey, like, if you think about it, like, it would make sense he would wear, like, a fucking, like, powdered wig, to be fair, like, considering what he is.
Yeah, he does have, like, a powdered wig. Yeah.
Oh, I suppose that's just, like, some judge or something.
Well... maybe. Zackary will just kind of like stare at this person and say, I feel like my memory is failing. We've seen this person before, right?
Have we?
Have we?
For Malum and Izumi specifically, a history check with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Nope.
Malum, you're not sure. His face looks familiar. Can't place it. Izumi, while you were drunk with Zackary, you could have swore you saw this man at the Afterlife Casino, talking with the person who put a bounty on you.
Oh no.
No.
You don't know his name, but you don't think he saw you yet.
Izumi's eyes just like dilate, but the rest of her body just like, stays calm. She doesn't...
Would I be able to see that with my passive 17? What's your passive stealth, I guess?
My passive stealth is 16.
Okay. Maramil will kind of like raise an eyebrow and say, I suppose it's your turn to fill us in, Miss Izumi. Is something the matter? I must say your body's very well trained to not respond to stimulus.
Bless you.
I saw this individual at the Afterlife Casino.
Ah, so what are they doing here? I only saw cheap people there. Or rather, Constantine only saw cheap people there. I wasn't quite paying attention. I was having fun with that one guard I drowned.
I was inciting a riot.
There were some rich people.
I mean, considering they're allowing the types of us to enter this ball.
Well, we had people to exploit the system to get us in. That person seems to just be here legitimately.
And speak for yourself, thank you.
Speak for yourself, motherfucker, says Malum.
And last but not least, the fourth and final carriage. A very, very ostentatious carriage. Decorated in very fine gold and mahogany wood paneling. The finest horses that you'd ever see, being carted by a group of armed individuals, but as juxtaposed, a slightly well-to-do individual, which his demeanor would give you a border between high society and the low rung of the low class that you would find at a seedy tavern. You see a man in his early 50s, brown salt and pepper hair with a teal suit, half drunk, but keeping his composure, while attended to by a bodyguard.
I respect the pre-gaming.
Is this D?
No, it is not D.
Holler D.
Cleaner D. It's liquid D.
Well, shall we away? Mr. Blackthorn, please compose yourself. I'm composed as he goes into his waistcoat and pulls out what appears to be a flask and has a sip of whatever alcoholic beverage he had on hand.
Same question.
This is target.
Do we recognize him?
No, you have never met this man, but you do hear the name Blackthorn, which
Also, you
could
also got given a description of this guy, right?
You got a description. You got a description of the guy, human, late 40s, early 50s, and he'd be at the party. He gives you the vibe of an unsavory sort that would be in charge of a thieves' guild. Albeit maybe an underboss, but...
Okay.
Wait, I zoomed in on the art. He looks like Gavin Free.
Ain't no friggin' way! Ain't no friggin' way!
He looks like Gavin
I
Free.
think he I didn't notice
From the
that.
slow-mo guys.
Oh.
I like how we all just have like various different like approximations of what he looks like.
The dude from Top Gear. I know who you talking about. Friggin' Chris Pratt.
We're getting free from the slow-mo guys, also from Rooster
No,
Teeth
I'm reading
formerly.
in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Gortash, played by Chris Pratt. What do you mean, Gortash, played by Chris Pratt? Oh, Lord. Okay. So, yeah. You guys go up the stairs.
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
Watch your step, Miss Izumi. These steps are going to be quite a bit difficult to walk in heels. So just take it slow.
And if
Izumi
somebody...
takes it very slow, holding it up with both hands onto the rail. I guess one hand on the rail,
Yeah,
one
you
hand
have-
on like Samiri.
Yeah.
You know.
I-
Oh god.
No, go ahead.
You know how funny it would be to cast a spell like Grease at this moment.
Oh yes, it would be quite funny, though I would ask to refrain from that. In fact, I did work hard on these clothes. Seem to have suffered a bit in terms of my health for these clothes.
Are you sure that has nothing to do at all with the fact that you were bitten by your, by your cohort?
I did lose quite a bit of blood, yes. Perhaps that is a reason.
Oh, by the way, I've been to a number of gatherings similar to this back when I was under the employment of the Maxios. If somebody asks you to come to one of the rooms on the back, say no.
Well, I believe it would be quite easy to say no to this.
No matter what they use to tempt you, be it fancy reading material, mountains of money, or arcane narcotics.
What did they tempt you with? Or were you not victim to this?
I was too busy performing throughout the entire night to be invited to any of the rooms, but I heard stories.
Ah, well. Let's keep a lookout for that then.
Okay. So you have the light dancing around you. Alright, so as individuals are ushered in the front door, you see a small squad of guards, some from the Custodos, others seem to be what would appear to be a number of members of the city's night watch, and taking tickets, a tiefling man with short curly hair, red skin, and a noticeable scar on his face looks over and recognizes you. Hey, it's you guys from the casino, right?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Well, Malum, Umbra, it looks like he actually took your advice and got a better paying job.
As he should be. At least, we're assuming. Are you at least getting paid well here? You know I could speak for your behalf, right?
No worries. Me and a couple of guys, we got hired out to work a couple gigs here for Founders Day, getting double the pay that fucking Quentin charged us, and well, it's been pretty good. Aside from this nice little shiner here, no thanks to him.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Oh yeah. Do you have any ticket
Here you go.
Alright, he takes your tickets and ushers you on the inside as you see these watchmen holding up their spears and allowing you entrance.
As soon as the spears go up, Malum will have his lights go up while still going in a circle, smaller and smaller. And when the lights meet each other, they will poof.
Okay, so you're no longer concentrating on Fergoff spell? Okay. Alrighty. I shall take you all inside.
Oh, when Malum passes Xartos, he would whisper to him like, would it be at all possible to get a little table somewhere at the side for me? With a few chairs.
Sorry, that's not my department. I'm just working security.
Who can I ask for it?
They kind of already had event coordinator, and she was kind of particular about how things were supposed to be set up. So, and also she's not here tonight. So,
Damn. Well, thanks anyway. Have a good night.
You too.
Oh, that's who you were. He says like in front of his face. Yes, he finally remembers.
Yeah, you cast it slow on me.
Of course I did. He says with like a...
He kind of looks pissed now.
He says, well, thank you. As he just pats his shoulder and walks back.
Whatever. Okay. So I shall take you to a new map, the foyer.
Held, music change? Baroque Noble Party?
Yes.
Thank you, Darkest
Alright.
Maps.
Yeah, thank you, Darkest Maps, for providing this. Alright. In this marble-covered foyer, a large contingent of guards are posing as security, making sure guests feel as safe as possible. Hundreds of people gather around as they are ushered to the grand ballroom further inside. Across the room, on either side, are the top members of the Custodos, the city's elite guard, as well as members of the City Watch. Flanked by 2 security guards and a mage by his side, a man with sleek black hair, pale skin, pencil-thin mustache and goatee, and a rather pensive stare. You all would assume, well, granted, anyone who carries a gold piece that's from the city of Xyla would see his face. The current patrician of Xyla, Lord Hemlock Vetinari II.
No relation to Macario Silverhand.
He is not related to him.
Like I'm not gonna lie, he looks and sounds like the type of guy who would like You know how like King James the First of England like was like, oh yeah, Banquo in Macbeth, he was totally related to me, like he was my ancestor. Like this is like that's what this guy looks like. He would claim Macarios's like line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe. Yes. So yes, and as this mage hands over this wand to the patrician, his voice seems to boom a bit louder over the roar of crowds. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with my distinct pleasure that the Founders Day ball is about to commence. Now, if you would please follow the follow me into the ballroom. There's food, festivities, and more.
Oh, yes, Miss Izumi. Please do be mindful about this, but at parties like these, all of the drinks do tend to be, complimentary.
Also,
So I can
I
have as many as I want.
You can have as many as is appropriate. Don't be a bad influence to little Samire over here.
Right.
Samira, like, I imagine that like long silence was like Izumi staring down at Samira. Samira staring back up at her again.
Malum looks at Zackary. So also, I'm sorry to do this immediately, but I'm really quick going off on my own.
Malum Umbra, you can't leave Zackary here alone. Malum Umbra, come back!
And so he departs, never to be seen again after being consumed by the crowd that we call the noble masses. What a sad fate for Mr. Malamumbra of House Luthar.
As you kind of walk up to these individuals, you're stopped by an older human gentleman in fine, darker clothes, which look basically like a darker version of the Custodo's uniform.
Mhm.
Oh, what business? What business do you have?
Greetings, Solhos. You remember me?
Oh, Commander Thorn. It's all right. This gentleman is. This is a gentleman that I had helped out not too long ago. Uh, Malum Umbra. This is Watch Commander Thorn of the Custodos.
Greetings, Commander Thorn. My name is Malum Umbra of the House of Luthar.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Same. I actually came up here to ask you, Mrs. Solhos, for a dance.
Oh, well, currently working at the moment. Maybe later, if I have some free time.
I'm sure that your boss wouldn't mind you entertaining the guests.
Well, just like you, Jerry, to have flocks of adoring fans. After all, you are the patron of Xyla. You see this woman kind of would scoff, in a sort of scoffing voice. You would remember her as Captain Stormwind, the captain of the guard, who was given the public announcement in the city square.
Greetings, miss. That's not why I have taken a liking to him. As Malum smiles and gives a quick wink to Sohos.
Well, Journey, it seems like you have another adoring fan. She kind of jabs him in the side a little bit. Sphere up. We're on duty. Lighten up, would you? As she kind of takes a drink of what you appear to be like a martini of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit later. Sorry, duty calls. But you do see him blush a little bit.
I mean, does he walk away?
Like he kind of like he's on his patrol route. It's basically you caught him at the end of a conversation, but he currently goes back to like a patrol route.
Isn't he always quick on his feet?
You're not the first person to vie for his affection, and I doubt you'd be the last.
Well, unlike many, I just hope to free him from himself. After that, it's all his decision what he wants to do with his newfound freedom.
Yeah, the freedom of the man who has the longest stick up his arse. You didn't hear that from me.
Oh, do tell.
Miss Stormwind, do I have to reprimand you? Might I remind you we are still on duty, and as officers of the city of Xyla, we must hold a level of decorum. Yes, yes. Commander Thorn, my
I mean,
apologies.
Malum walks a bit closer and whispers, I would love to hear more of your opinions. So, if you ever want to share them, come and seek me out.
I doubt that. Plus, you're not my type anyway.
Damn.
Wow.
Fuck.
I didn't thought I came off as flirting to you. I'm sorry. You must have misread my intentions.
Sorry, you must be very desperate to think that.
Damn! Damn!
But don't worry, I heard plenty people mislead me like that. But I was more looking as a friendly chat.
Well, maybe another time. And you see, kind of walking up. Well, you don't see at first because height level. Actually, no, wait. How tall is Malum again?
Or 6.
Literally an inch taller than you. No, it would not be. No, you would notice them because they are a dwarf.
Hey!
Is the incarnation of the bitch queen give me a trouble? Oh, there, good sir. Commander Ironheart, night watch. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Uh,
Greetings, Malum, Umbra of the House of Luatar.
well, don't. If you want my opinion, I wouldn't associate myself with someone of lower standing for someone of a noble birth as yourself. Oh, and what's that supposed to mean, Miss Fancy Airs? Just because you got yourself a neat little promotion, don't make you the queen of all airiness. Meanwhile, Zackary, you go up to two other guards who are currently looking at each other, looking at the cat fight. It's about to ensue. Oh no, the commander's on her hot streak again. You owe me 2 gold. It it was 5 minutes. Damn.
If we want to get really technical, the party started longer than that. Also, hello.
Zacchary's head from across the fucking room.
Where'd you come from, sir?
Good question. Hello, my name is Zackary. I have arrived here in order to, enjoy tonight's event. Yes.
I'm Captain Hastings. Pleasure to meet you.
He's got a lazy eye.
Oh, shit.
He's a bit. And this is Constable Aguilar. Pleasure to meet you. Zackary, was it?
Yes. It is a pleasure to meet you as well. What's it called? Also, by the way, old boy looks like a fucking Fortnite character.
Shit. Well, you're just about to see the main event. Well, you're not missing the main event, as she puts heavy quotation marks.
And what is this main event? Does he also puts quotation marks on that?
He's just like a kid who's just like copying his parent, like all the adults that he sees.
Well, Commander Ironheart and Captain Stormwind, they kind of have a bit of a rivalry with each other. Their mentor was a member of the Night Watch, funded the Night Watch after retiring from the Custodos, and, well, didn't really sit well with Miss Stormwind, who was supposed to give her head position when he retired. So they've been going at each other's throats for the last 2 years.
A tale as old as time. To have these two rivals, they form due to worker relationships or lack thereof.
If there's ever a joint operation, you can tell there's no doubt these two will be at the watch house arguing back and forth with each other.
Sounds like they don't get a lot done.
Well, they do in their own ways. At least this is the tamest they've been in a while. but that's neither here nor there.
A bit of a strange question to ask, but I don't suppose this facilities contain a fighting arena for them, for those two to sort this out the old-fashioned way, as they say.
Knowing Commander Ironheart, give her about halfway through the night, she'll probably make one herself. And it will take most of the night watch to calm her down. But you shouldn't concern yourself with that. Enjoy the party and stuff.
And stuff. He says...
You're not getting me to the back room!
I don't care what stuff you offer me. I'm not going in a secondary location.
He will say...
Strange full name and title.
Can you type it out for me?
Wait. Okay, Strange title. Grand...
Sorry to take that moment from you guys.
Wait, what did he say?
Sorry to take that moment from you, boy, but I needed to make the joke.
And it's alright. What's it called? Zackary's just going to kinda Grand Marshal Beatrix. There we go. What's it called? Zackary will just kinda like look over at the two and be like, "Oh well, at any rate, I am off to mingle. Yes. Wish you a good night. See you." With a slight bow.
Is that how he thinks nobles talk?
Yeah.
He was again
night.
exclusively forced to be the entertainment. He never got to actually talk to people. So
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah. So I shall take y'alls to the ballroom because everyone's kind of ushering people to the ballroom.
Me, like, you know, as we're going, like, you know, Izumi will kind of like see like Sumira kind of like bouncing on her feet, just kind of like, you know, very like whispering like, teacher, when can we, Father Maramil, when can we see the Grand Marshal? Can we see the Grand Marshal now? Can we go meet the Grand Marshal? In time. But first, there is one thing I'd like to establish here. I believe that my name might actually hold some sway now that the Grand Marshal has been introduced into the foray. But for most people, Rostonian nobility doesn't exactly stand out. But we can use that to our advantage. That being said, we might need more foreign names, Miss Izumi.
Do you want me to forge one?
I don't believe that is particularly necessary. Or perhaps I should start calling you Miss Saluzzo.
Don't call me that.
For this event, I might very well call you that. I'm not sure how aware you seem to be of that sort of upbringing, but the way you dress so fancy, the way you interact with the world, and the fact that you have a surname that is not a profession, it's a family name. You're a noble. Where are you from?
That's none of your business.
Well, I believe that for this operation, it might be my business. My name can be used, but if we're not dealing with Rostonian individuals, it's bound to either confuse or create hostility. We need an obscure surname, and Saluzzo is not any language I am familiar with. We might need you to use this name to succeed in our operation here.
I'm not using that name.
Kind of raises an eyebrow. Why so averse to the idea?
There's been bad blood between me and my parents.
What's it called? When you say that, like, you actually, like, feel a sort of, like, tightening from Sumire's hand, but not, like, you know, like an excited tightening or, like, a frightened tightening. Just kind of, like kind of almost like a secure sort of solidarity, like a solidarity tightening. Sumire kind of, like, stares up at you again. But instead of,
Izumi
like...
is completely lying.
Yeah. Sumire, like, kind of, like, you know, looks up at you, like, stares at you, but, like, you know, with, like, sort of, like, understanding look on her face. She doesn't know you're lying. Like...
Izumi just stares back at her once again and just, like, nods slightly.
Kind of says, I understand how it is to not want to associate with your parents. Father Maramil, can we let Miss Izumi forge a surname? Use persuasion. Oh god, okay. Maramil just kind of like shakes their head. I suppose for now, yes, that's fine. What would you suggest then, Miss Izumi?
Izumi just tries to, like, generate a name in her mind. Izumi probably would be able to come up with the name of a spot. I can't.
Yeah, that's fine. I can, like, we can go in, like, a random name generator, I guess. Random noble name generator, noble house names. You know what? Howfax sounds pretty fucking noble.
There you go, Halifax.
Well then, Miss Howfax. I suppose we shall be off. As I said, keep an eye out on who we're going to be, who we might want to approach. But for now, I think that we're going straight to the Grand Marshal now, aren't we, little Sumire? And Sumire kind of like straightens up, and you would expect, like, you know, like excited child mode, but actually she's like straightened up to like probably one of like the daintiest nobles like in this ball right now. Like she's on her best fucking behavior.
Yeah.
And as we start walking, where is she? I saw her. We didn't. We need to place ourselves there.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're walking. Oh no! We have to walk up the stairs.
No, you guys would be like on this. You wouldn't be walking up the stairs.
Oh, we'd have to walk down. Okay, so we can actually like just go around.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we're going, you know, like Miss Sumire. Well, yeah, like Sumire will just kind of like very much like start talking to like Izumi. Like, are you aware about all the Grand Marshal's achievements? You know, she single-handedly reduced crime in the Ebonspire by a whopping 5%. Of course, that's because she legalized a lot of things, but, you know, the legality of magic is always a rocky subject, and it's of my opinion that we should be able to use magic freely. And it's her opinion as well. She's really a shining star in terms of law and order, but also the freedom and the right to choose of all nobles within Ebonspire and Rand in general.
That's unfortunate to hear.
What? Well, no, it's really cool.
Wait, it is? Izumi looks at Maramil just like for, like, what's the context here? What am I missing?
Maramil kind of like raises an eyebrow and says, "So, I'm not entirely sure what's quite confusing, Miss Halifax. Miss Amiri is only praising the installation of better laws and the legalizing of previously outdated illegalities."
Is this part of a noble act?
No, I don't believe it is. I believe that Miss Sumire is being completely genuine here.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys are going up to meet Beatrix Thrain.
And as we're going up, Maramil will kind of what's it called? Basically, Maramil will kind of like temporarily take the lead, and just kind of like go up and say, "Well met and blessings from Rand, Grand Marshal. It was quite a surprise to see you at the gate."
Well, greetings, and kind of in a language Izumi you do not recognize whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
She looks over to Maramil and kind of asks, and how might you know my title? Not too many people outside the Empire of Rand know of me.
Well,
Least-
the one in my care is actually quite a big fan of yours. We're actually from the Empire. I and her from Ebonspire. Though my apprentice is actually from the Ironhold Bastion. It's quite a kind of like Maramil kind of like walks over to the balcony and kind of like leans over, kind of like looking down and says, "It's a bit of a downgrade from the crystal palaces of old Vroston, but it's getting there, don't you think?"
Quite. And going back to Common, looking over at Izumi, who has no idea what y'all are saying.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies. And kind of like the friggin' Attack on Titan salute, like hand on chest, like Lady Beatrix Thrain of Ebonspire. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And this is my attaché, Delia.
Sumire kind of like, runs up front and like does the salute back and says, "I'm Sumire, Sumire, just Sumire, of Ebonspire as well, Madame, or Grand Marshal, or Sir?
Please, you're not one. Unless you're one of my subordinates,
Lady Thrain is... Lady Beatrix is fine.
Well... Oh yeah, go on.
Izumi just introduces herself, just Lady Halifax. To the... I'm... Izumi would know what to say, I don't.
It's okay, yeah. Heir to the Halifax fortune, I guess.
Yeah. She has proficiency in deception, I don't.
Yeah, that's okay.
I know the
Halifax, I'm not too familiar with that name.
It's, foreign. My associate here, has, come from quite a ways away, and, we're essentially showing her around, the place and, hoping to make some acquaintances. If you were able to point us in the, right direction, that would be much appreciated, but not before my introduction. I apologize for the rudeness. I am Maramil Balayavel, Fisan's Salshire, Halkis, the Knight of House Dryeye.
You see her eyes kind of almost whiten a bit, but still the sort of stoic expression that she has. Well, I wouldn't expect someone from House Dryere to be here. I thought they had all perished.
Maramil kind of laughs a bit bitterly, like, I believe most people did. And I believe that perhaps the true events of that day might be somewhat shrouded in mystery. But I suppose that's not what we're here to talk about.
You see Delia, who now on closer inspection, you realize she is a reborn.
Oh, okay.
And
She is the fucking Frankenstein's bride.
Yes, she is Frankenstein bride. I like how you caught that reference. She hands you like a little handkerchief.
My greatest appreciations, my lady. I have contacted a bit of an illness from, well, I believe it's overwork. I was up all night creating these bespoke outfits you see before you.
And they're quite lovely, ma'am.
Thank you. But, Miss Halifax, why don't you introduce yourself? As you were asking me about lessons about, well, learn to use your magic. The Verstonian Empire is the leading power when it comes to actually using your magic, as opposed to whatever they do out here. Am I right, Grand Marshal?
Though I'm not a practiced spellcaster, in the same vein as some of my associates, I do know a bit, though mine are a bit more tailored towards, well, martial prowess.
Maramil kind of like slightly elbows Izumi, like, hey, I told you.
I would indeed be interested in learning about, well, such magecraft.
Out of character, she...
Paladin? Magus?
Uh...
Yeah, wrong. I was gonna say.
I mean, you can still call it magecraft.
You could still call it. Like, I would imagine it's like I feel like magecraft
that's,
would like kind of
that's
be
like another term for like spell
Yeah,
casting.
I guess it could be like Order of Scribes, like, you know, or like, you know, lore mastery wizard, right? Like, you know, like kind of like
Yeah.
spell crafting and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. She gives you paladin-ish vibes.
Was she a fucking Ilriker?
Yes. She's an Eldricker. She's an Eldricker.
Yeah. Would I say like Samire probably does actually know that, considering how big a fan she is?
I'd say so.
Yeah. Samire very much like perks up and like, you know, looks over to Izumi and says, "Yes, her magic very much works in conjunction with her combat. It's almost as if the weapon itself is an extension of her magic and quite the other way around as well."
Just like my staff then.
Maramil kind of places a finger on like their chin and says, "Yes, quite like your staff, I suppose. Of course, we're not here for magic lessons right now, but I believe that you might have some interesting things to talk about." Maramil says as like they kind of like pull Samire by like the collar, like, you know, back here, and basically just like push Izumi in front.
Well, as Izumi is getting ingratiated to Beatrix Thrain, we cut over further downstairs to Malum and Zackary, who come up to a table. At the table, two finely dressed tieflings sit at a table. One with kind of rosy pink skin, blonde hair. The other with kind of purple hair, a bit larger set of horns, and a violet dress. Kind of chat with each other, unless you all say anything towards her.
Yeah, Mom would say, "Greetings, Miss Nightshade. What fancy meeting you here."
She kind of looks up from her conversation. Oh, Mr. Luatar, how are you?
I'm doing great, and call me Malum.
Malum. Well, it's lovely seeing you here. And, oh, might I introduce you to my secretary, Aisha. Pleasure to meet you, Mal.
Likewise, Isha.
You can tell that she is trying to put on an air of being fancy, but she does not like being fancy.
Mm-hmm. Let me introduce you both to a good friend of mine and colleague, Zackary.
Hello. Oh, apologies. Greetings in this fine evening. He kind of does like a bow.
My.
Malum would whisper that's at least a step up.
Okay. Let's see.
Maybe this is why he was never allowed to talk to others.
Let's see. Zackary, what is your charisma?
18, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I have plus or modifier to it. So.
Okay.
18.
18. Madam Nightshade kind of looks over at you. My, what a charming fellow you are. Zackary, was it?
Yes, I am Zackary. No other fancy last names that I believe are pertinent to bring up in this specific meeting of ours. However, I am told that, my performance skills are on par with those of the highest courtiers of, any noble, gathering.
Interesting.
I
Well.
can confirm that.
There is one slight disagreement on that particular statement. My skills are not on par with those of of noble caliber. I would dare say they're greater. If there's one thing I'm confident about is, after all, my abilities to, engage in the fine arts.
What? Well, a charmer, humble and a charmer. My, you seem to be quite the individual, Mr. Zackary.
I am often told I am quite something. The question is what?
I apologize for not having had what's the correct English? If you did want to go somewhere, but
Had is past tense you're looking for.
just that. Alright. I apologize that I did not yet had the time to visit your establishment in Sila.
Well, no. It's quite alright, Malum. It's a bit of a, shall we say a busier day. The days will be a bit busier this week, with individuals coming to visit. But, if you're very veritable virtuoso here is the muse that he claims to be, well, I wouldn't mind inviting him to the Velvet Chamber.
Zackary looks over at Malum, and he doesn't look over. He's still maintaining eye contact with the two people that he's talking to. But Malum would hear in his head something along the lines of, "This is how they get us, Malum. Do not fall for these tricks."
Malum says, well, I would love to invite him before I come over. I mean, I would love to continue our games.
Well, shame that there's no parlor here for us to have a rematch. What?
Wait.
Picturing the fucking Kakagurui, fucking.
Yeah, the Kakagurui swap.
Yo.
What is her insight?
Her insight. Let's see. So what you slide a hand in?
Well, yeah, Malum would look a bit more happy, perked up when she said it, and put his hand on his cards and chips he has with him, and he's like, should I not?
Telepathically, you would hear, maybe not tonight. You could come by my office perhaps day after tomorrow, and we could put together a friendly game. And I wouldn't try palming anything. The guards seem to be taking notice of you.
Can Malum reply?
Let's
Telepathically?
see. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You can reply to her telepathy.
Then Malum would reply back, alright, that's a promise, and thank you for the warning. You know, I keep my games everywhere with me, wherever I go.
Well, I'll keep that in mind. I wouldn't have any, well, hope it wouldn't be any, shifty claims as, a certain drow claimed you had.
I assure you, the only thing shifty about Mr. Malum is his hands are able to shift around the cards very, very well. I've seen it firsthand. It almost looks like he's producing them quite out of nowhere.
Well, I have seen. Well, he is quite the card player. I unfortunately lost to him in a very interesting game of Three Dragon Ante.
My condolences.
That's where we met at the God, I'm struggling with my
Casino.
own word.
Casino is what you
Yeah,
think.
no, that's where we met at the casino. Well, Malum said that towards Zackary, just silent.
Yeah, it's like, what's it called? When Malum kind of says, oh, man, the casino, Zackary is just kind of like, of course. I heard there was a horrid incident at the Afterlife Casino, was it? It wouldn't happen to be the same one where you met.
Yes, it was. Though it was a bit of a uproar.
Yes.
We had to get out as soon as we could.
I heard that a very talented singer incited a riot in a particular casino.
Wait.
My
Remember
guess
you.
is that it must have been someone of quite mischievous background. He kind of looks over at Malum. Well, he doesn't look at Malum, but again, in Malum's, you will. If you could transmit through telepathy a wink.
He just says through telepathy.
Wink.
Yeah.
Also, in telepathy, Zackary would
like,
hear.
wink.
In telepathy, Madam Nightshade, kind of looking at you intently, kind of a more mischievous grin.
So that's where I remember you from. I did remember a very interesting bard.
Zackary hears a voice in his head. Again.
The same voice as the lady.
Well, yes, but you Zackary. What's it called? He hears a voice in his head again. Which sounds like the lady, I guess. What's it called? And he just kind of looks over at her and just kind of says with completely like 100% sort of like seriousness in his voice. Has your mind been open to the truth as well?
Just a little trick I've picked up.
Outstanding. What's it called? But Zackary will just kind of, again, sort of like trying to keep the physical conversation going. He goes, At any rate, it appears that, well, it was quite the circumstance that brought you two together in your meeting. I take it in this potential rematch that you speak of, you will, how do they say in that particular business, go all or nothing in the next bet. He looks at Malum like, huh? Is that correct?
Well, we shall see. If you are to accept my terms, Malum.
I'm not one to run fast. So I would love to see what the terms are.
Well, 200 gold. 200 gold buy-in, 3 dragon ante. I'll gather together a few other individuals.
That's fine by me. I mean, for all I care, we make it 300.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
400. How about that? Zackary is gonna chime in.
16. Well, and your friend's so eager, we'll make it 350 to even things out.
Fine by me. Actually, I was curious, have you spoken to more interesting figures today?
And she says in telepathy, well, there's a couple of oafish adventurers a table across from us. They say they're from Drung. And this one Vizago Armand seems a bit. It seems to be a very upstanding noble, if not a bit brutish.
Thank you.
Yes. And you have unlocked a side quest. Card game at the card game at
Yeah.
the friggin' Velvet Chamber. Yes, I have side quests for these individuals.
Yeah.
To the bell.
Oh yeah.
Zackary looks
let's
at
see.
Malum and is like, tonight's going swimmingly.
Actually, as Malum looks a bit around, I see someone who still owes me a dance. So if you wouldn't mind if you would pardon me, is that the correct word in
Yeah.
English?
Yeah, that's fine.
If you would pardon me, then I'll be on my way.
Okay. Cutting back upstairs. So, you, Miss Halifax, was it?
Yes.
You wish to learn magical arts.
I
What?
indeed do.
What exactly are you looking to achieve with such goals?
Well, there's this magic item I've been training in with for a while, but I've never particularly had a teacher, you could say, to, well, explain the theory to me.
I see. Mostly self-taught. Tell me, are you more of someone who studies in the arcane? Someone who dabbles with the divine? someone who draws magic from primal forces, or someone who delves into more cult? Basically, she's asking, are you a wizard, sorcerer, warlock, cleric, or druid?
Magic item user? Izumi says, like, kind of confused.
Like, like Maramil's like looks like she's about to like step in for a second, but like stops and then just like with like a look on their face, like, actually, I don't know what to say about this. I have no idea either.
What my mistress means is, when you cast your magic, how do you channel the weave? Have you studied tomes? Is it natural to you? Do you draw it from nature itself? Or do you take your power, or do you manifest your power from otherworldly forces, be it divine or otherwise?
To date, I've been channeling my energy using this one particular staff of mine. And spells come out.
It's not it's not uncommon to find magical items that house within them a semblance of spellcasting. One of my lieutenants, he's not a formal mage, but he does use a staff of power, a more rare magical implement that supplements spellcasting.
When she mentions like a more rare magic item, Maramil actually does kind of step in and like grab Izumi by the shoulders and kind of like just like pull her to the side and says, "Yes, Miss Izumi, while reliant on a magic focus, does seem to pull a lot of different tricks out of her bag. She her magic is quite interesting. It's almost difficult to pin down, but I believe that's one thing we're working with. Sumire, why don't you tell the Grand Marshal all that you appreciate them for? I would like to speak to Miss Halifax. Just in the back here. Oh, okay. Grand Marshal, well, I just wanted to talk about, well, the reforms from 260 ADE. They were remarkable, and like kind of like Marmo sort of like very much just tries to as nonchalantly as possible kind of like trail Izumi to the side.
What appears to be the issue?
Oh well. Right. What I realized when she mentioned the rarity of the magic item is, if we're not sure how your magic works, and you have a magic item on your person that, by all intents and purposes, seems to be almost entirely unique, we're going to have to reevaluate our story here. We can't let it leak that we have powerful items on our hands after all.
Right.
Which I imagine you understand the severity of letting that sort of information leak to potential enemies. And so, we must get our story straight. Do you agree with me?
I agree.
Then, we are in agreement. You must tell me exactly what is going on with that mysterious past of yours.
Can we not forge a story?
Forging a story is all well and good, but it's very difficult the more powerful that you appear. And your potential does seem to be quite powerful. Listen, Miss Izumi, you're going to give me answers. You owe me after flaking on us on Zackary in the previous mission. I'm doing you an honest favor by not digging into why you're being hunted. Don't think I didn't notice you had that staff before getting that gem. You have many secrets, Miss Salazzo. Be grateful I don't demand more.
Izumi stares at you blankly for
And,
a while, but
and back at you like Maramil, despite having like that lower, more threatening tone, is still like, grinning from ear to ear.
this pause is longer than most. It's clear that, while she may not show it, she is thinking of like hundreds of different things to like say, but eventually she cracks and let me just like quickly check my own backstory to make sure that I don't like lie by accident.
The character
Right.
pulls out the script.
Yeah.
Your character pulls up the script.
Hey, Zackary, can you pass me my backstory?
Back to the storyboard, would you?
Right, this staff, it belonged to ex-friend of mine. A powerful wizard. Up until one day, well, they betrayed me. But in the wake of that betrayal, they left the staff behind. I'm not sure how it works, I'm not sure what it does, I'm not sure where it comes from. I just know it belongs to someone I once held dear.
And yet you instinctively attached that gem to that staff once we found it.
I recognized it.
Very interesting. But now that we know the truth, we can fabricate around it. We can say that this is an heirloom. We can say that it was given to you by a predecessor. And we can say that it is an aid for unlocking your latent potential, and that you are an arcane caster. We can say that for now.
Okay.
Question.
Uh-huh.
What is y'all's passive perceptions?
It is, actually, what's it called? What did what's it called? The Eldritch Melody only gave us 10 HP, right?
Yeah, it
Or-
didn't give us anything else.
Okay. In that case, 17.
13.
Oh boy!
By friggin' one.
By one, yeah. Damn. Fuck. Fucking mushroom wizard.
Marvel, like,
While you were having your conversation, like, out of the corner of your eye, you saw this strange man, somewhat disheveled, with what looked like fungi growing off of him.
Fuck, let him
And
into the party. He's gonna get the dirt all over the floor. Oh god. I love him though, oh my god.
and somewhat gingerly walking away. You don't know how long he's been there, but you get the feeling he might have overheard you.
We're going to have to go after that mushroom person.
That mushroom person?
Yes, that mushroom person. It's fine. Little Sumire can take care of herself. And plus, she has the Grand Marshal with her.
Izumi instinctively tries to like reach for like a hand crossbow, like that will be like hidden like underneath the jacket, but just nothing.
Maramil kind of says, well, I'm not entirely sure how your magic actually works, but this will be a good testing ground to learning how to cast spells without your training wheels. Now come. As Maramil very much like, like starts like speed walking afterwards. Maramil can't dash, because of her leg
Marvel
injury.
can't dash.
And Izumi can't dash because of the dress.
Which is unfortunate for both.
We're just like race walking after this guy.
Like, you do see him kind of like posted up, like a little ways from crowds, but just close enough where if he was in any danger, he could call for the guards.
Yeah. Maramil will as we're like walking, Maramil will kind of like say, like whisper to Izumi, like, I assume you have experience in making people, persuading people to not to stay quiet about things.
Mostly, yes.
Then let's put that to the test. Hello, good sir.
You see this man slowly kind of look over to you with this very disheveled look, kind of interest, a look of intrigue. Ah, yes. Hello. How? And good evening.
Good evening to you as well, sir. We couldn't help but notice that you were enjoying a spectator's view of our chat. We just wanted to come up and clear the air. This is sensitive information, and I do hope that we won't have issues with you leaking it.
Oh. It's an interesting deal of intrigue. It's not every day you hear a bit of a tragic tale such as this. But if secrecy is what you desire, an elf such as you seem to be somewhat of a elusive person yourself. Perhaps if a bargain can be struck, a secret for my silence.
Maramil seems to like kind of their smile sort of like gets a bit crooked and like they seem to like be gritting their teeth. Says, I see. Well, I suppose I do have a few things to potentially share.
I've got a very simple deal I can propose to you, dear sir.
And what would that be?
The Halifax family was not strong, has connections. If you value your head, you'll forget about that little chat of ours we had.
Oh, my dear. Halifax family. I was not born yesterday. That name has no weight here, and neither does your story. You're not the first to threaten my life, and you certainly would not be the last. Many
You
have
sure about
tried.
that?
Oh, many have tried. Many have ordealed. But I don't believe that threats to an individual would go over well with the local authorities of this domicile. No,
They roll like an insight to figure out what the fuck's going on with this guy.
Give me. Actually. Give me Give me an intelligence check.
Okay. I have exhaustion! Oh my god! Never fucking mind!
19. Actually, thinking
Nice one.
about this, 19 is what?
Ooh.
Those some good rolls. This individual seems very cryptid, and kind of on further inspection, you almost saw his eyes from this pale pastiness, like almost glazed over, almost appeared reptilian, question mark, and seemingly has fungi growing off of him, and wearing, well, rather garish purple robes. Maramil specifically, you would remember a conversation you had with Malum about deep dragons.
Oh god,
Well,
yeah.
you would easily get the suspicion this individual might be a deep dragon that's shape changed into humanoid form. Very
Marvel will-
collective, very secretive, somewhat
Marvel-
interesting.
We'll put a hand on Izumi's shoulder and say, just kind of say, good sir. What sort of secret would be acceptable for this trade? I can offer a backstory or a very interesting tidbit that happened just a day ago that none are privy to.
My ear is a bit towards the ground in certain circles and certain whispers. There are a few things that I do not hear.
Well, this is a secret that you will most definitely not have heard. Your ears may be to the ground, but they do not pass. I would imagine even a person with such powers as yourself would not pass so deep underground that they enter the chthonic realm of the dark gods. For appearing to me in human form, raven black hair, pale skin, cracks in his eyes, green robes, I was visited the other day when I had buried my apprentice in order to resurrect her as a vampire spawn. I stared death in the face. And I don't mean metaphorically, or rhetorically, or poetically, or theoretically, or any other fancy way. I mean that Miracle themselves visited me yesterday to give me a personal good luck and a very interested eye. He walks among us in this part of the world.
Ooh, interesting. The Reaper has shown his face to one of fate. One of his faithful here. Interesting. Though many, an acolyte do hear his call, few do see. Face of death himself. Lord of Bones is very elusive indeed. This secret might suffice. But what of...
He cut off.
You cut off.
He just went, what of E?
What of thee? Kind of looking over to Izumi.
What of me?
Was the deal not a secret for silence? I gave you a secret, yes?
Yes.
I've given you a secret as well, have I not?
That was mere idle gossip. But if you have anything more pertinent that your ears have picked up, perhaps I shall keep my silence further.
Izumi turns to Maramil, just like, no.
Yeah, Maramil will look over to Izumi and their grin will crack again and say, like through gritted teeth, would a second secret from my past suffice to pay for my dear associate's part of the deal?
If it's more intriguing than a visit from death, perhaps.
How about another tale of death? I, as you may have overheard already, am Maramil Balaivel Fisan Sathan Saer Talkis of House Dryere, the last surviving member of House Dryere. And none know of the fall of this house. We know that the Restonian uprising resulted in their fall, but we don't know many don't know that the ones who killed them slaughtered every single one. My mother, my father, my 4 brothers, and 2 sisters. Freedom fighters, the founders of Kree, were the ones to do it themselves. And you know what? That's not the interesting part. They were blessed with good fortune and cast as heroes, serving the good will of the gods of good. But do you know, kind of like leaning in, do you know who House Dryere was? Maramil takes their like sunglasses off and allows him to see the eye marking inside of their eye.
You see this sickly skin of this old man curl an unnatural grin, almost like the Grinch. If put in visual references, grinning quite literally from ear to ear. Oh, I have heard. I have heard tales of that since the fall. Intriguing. The survivor of a long disgraced house of Del. Traitors of their own kin. Thought dead from fire's revolution, only to have the last scion survive and even encountering death itself. Oh, that is very interesting, my dear.
I suppose that is one way of putting it, sir.
And essentially, kind of like the noble, kind of like bowing gracefully. It's not today. I am graced with the presence of those of noble stock, and kind of a very salivated kiss on your head, but you do feel the fangs of a dragon.
Oh, God.
Your secrets will suffice, and you shall keep my silence shall be kept, Lady Dryere.
And Maramil, again, just still gritting their teeth and smiling through it, will just kind of take like a bow. And as the mushroom wizard like probably like, you know, like departs, you know, and like no one's really looking, Maramil will grab Izumi's collar and like slightly like, you know, like bring. Actually, how tall is Izumi?
Do I have it? 5'4".
5'4". Okay, well, only an inch taller, but grabs your collar, pulls, like, you know, yanks you close, and their other hand grabs at your throat. You owe me for this, Saluzo. Understood?
Gotcha.
Releases you. Good. So we're at an understanding. Let's head back. I believe that that prior conflict has been settled.
And as you make your way back to graces of the Grand Marshal, that is where we shall end for tonight's session.
Ooh, shit, okay.
Boy. We are in some deep doo-doo now. Was it...
Damn, I
God.
didn't get my twink dance off yet.
You'll get your twink dance, probably. You'll probably get a dance with your
Jericho
twink,
over there,
don't
like,
worry.
not if I get it first.
Yeah, exactly, motherfucker! Stop fucking me!
So,
Dance
how-
off.
So, as the night continues in the palace of the patrician, intrigue settles in, secrets revealed, and associates have reacquainted themselves. But is that all that is in store for the Daggers? Find out next time on Keepers, Daggers of Darkhold.
Yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah.
Till next time.
Thank you to whoever was around, or is still around. Every view, every like, we appreciate. We're just happy, as I mentioned in the chat earlier. We're just happy to have people who seem to be even like slightly interested. Every time we see that number go up, it makes us happy to share something that makes us, well, happy with other people who are interested. So, thank you everybody. And what were we gonna say, Marijn?
Yeah, and like I said in chat, we always love reading comments from people.
Yeah. But, that'll be it for today for us. Bye-bye, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah.
Mm.
Bye bye.